Chapter number 11, The Human Eye and the Colorful World. You have learned in the chapter 10th about refraction of light by lenses. You also learned the nature, position, and relative size of images produced by lenses. How can these ideas help us in the learning of human eye? The human eye uses light and makes us able to see objects around us. If it consists a lens in its structure, what is the function of this lens in human eye? How do the lenses used in spectacles correct the vision defects? Let us think these questions in this chapter. We have studied in this chapter 10th about light and some of its properties. In this chapter, we shall study about some of the optical phenomena in nature. We shall also talk about rainbow formation, splitting of white light and blue color of the sky. The human eye, the human eye is one of the most important and sensitive sense organs. It makes us able to see the wonderful world and the colors around us. On closing our eyes, we can identify objects to some extent by their taste, a smell, by touch, or a sound they make. It is, however, impossible to identify colors while closing the eyes. Thus, of all the sense organs, the human eye is the most important one, as it makes us able to see the beautiful, colorful world around us. Human eye is like a camera. Its lens system produces an image on a light sensitive screen now as the retina. Light as the retina. Light enters the eye through a thin membrane known as the cornea. It produces the transparent bulb on the front surface of the eyeball, as is shown in figure. The eyeball is mainly spherical in shape with a diameter of about 2.3 cm. Most of the refraction for the light rays entering the eye takes place at the outer surface of the cornea. The crystalline lens merely gives the final adjustment of a focal length needed to focus objects at different distances on the retina. We find a structure known as iris behind the cornea. Iris is a dark muscular diaphragm that regulates the size of the pupil. The pupil controls and regulates the amount of light entering into the eye. The eye lens produces an inverted real image of the object on the retina. The retina is a delicate membrane consisting enormous number of light sensitive cells. The light sensitive cells get activated upon emulation and produce electrical signals. These signals are transmitted to the brain with the optics nerves. Finally the brain interprets these signals and processes the information as that we perceive objects as they are. Power of accommodation. The eye lens is formed of a fibrous jelly-like material. Its curvature can be changed to some extent by the ciliary muscles. The modification in the curvature of the eye lens can thus change its focal length. When the muscles get relaxed, the lenses becomes thin, thus its focal length increases. This makes us able to see distant objects clearly. When you are looking at objects closer to the eye, the clearly muscles contract. This increases the curvature of the eye lenses. The eye lenses then becomes thicker. Consequently, the focal length of the eye lenses decreases. This makes able us to see nearby objects clearly. The ability of the eye lens to adjust its focal length is known as accommodation. However, the focal length of the eye lens cannot be decreased below a definite minimum limit. Try to read a printed page by keeping it very close to your eyes. You may see that the image get blurred or feel strain in the eye. To see an object distinctly and comfortably, you must hold it at about 25 centimeter from the eyes. The minimum distance at which objects can be seen most distinctly and comfortably without strain is known as the least distance of a distinct vision. It is also known as the near point of the eye for a young adult having normal vision. The near point is about 25 centimeter, the farthest point up to which the eye can clearly see the objects is known as the far point of the ear. It is at infinity for a normal eye. You may observe that a normal eye can see objects clearly that are present between 25 centimeter and infinity. Sometimes the crystalline lenses of old-aged people at becomes cloudy and milky. This condition is known as cataract. This causes complete or partial loss of vision. It is possible to restore vision through a cataract surgery. Defects of vision. Defects of vision and their correction. Sometimes the eye may gradually lose its accommodation power. In these conditions, the person cannot see the objects comfortably and distinctly. The vision becomes blurred because of the refractive defects of the eye. These are generally three common refractive defects of vision. These are myopia or near sightedness, hypoptria or far sightedness, and presbyopia. These defects can be corrected with the help of suitable spherical lenses. We talk below about these defects and their correction. Myopia is also called as nearsightedness. A person suffering from myopia can see nearby objects clearly but are not able to see distant objects distinctly. A person suffering from the defect has the far point near then infinity. Such a person may see distinctly up to a distance of a few meters. In a myopic eye, the image of a distant object is produced in front of the retina and not exactly at the retina itself. This defect may arise because of excessive curvature of the eye lenses. Illumination of the eyeball. This defect can be corrected with the help of concave lenses of a suitable power. This is so in figure C. A concave lenses having suitable power will bring the image back onto the retina and hence the defect is corrected. Hypertropia is also known as farsightedness. A person with hypermetropia can see distant objects clearly but cannot see nearby objects clearly. The near point for the person is very far away from the normal near point, 25 centimeters. Such a person has to put a reading material much beyond 25 centimeters from the eye for reading comfortably. This is due to the light rays from a nearby object. Nearby object are focused at a point behind the retina is given in figure. This defect arises either due to the focal length of the eye lens is too long, the eyeball has become too small. This defect can be corrected with the help of a convex lenses of appropriate power. This is given in figure C. Eyeglass with convex lenses provide the additional focusing power essential for producing the image on the retina. The power of accommodation of the eye generally decreases with aging. For many people, the near point recedes away gradually. They find that it is difficult to see closely objects comfortably and distinctly without corrective eyeglasses. This defect is known as presbyopia. It arises due to the damaging flexibility of the eye lenses and the gradual weakening of the clearly muscles. Sometimes a person may suffer from both hypertropia and myopia. Such people often require bifocal lenses. A common type of bifocal lenses have both concave and convex lenses. The upper portion have a concave lens. It corrects It corrects the distant vision. The lower part is a convex lens. It corrects the near vision. The near vision. The near vision. These days, it is possible to correct the refractive defects with the help of correct lenses or by surgical interventions. Refraction of light through a prism. You have studied how light gets refracted through a rectangular glass slab for parallel refracting surfaces like in a glass slab. The emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray. However, it is somewhat displaced laterally. How would light get reflected by a transparent prism? Think a triangular glass prism. It contains two triangular bases and three rectangular lateral surfaces. These surfaces are inclined to one another. The angle between its two lateral faces is known as the angle of the prism. Let us now perform an activity to study the reflection of light by a triangular glass prism. Incident ray, angle of incidence, refractor ray, angle of refraction, emergent ray, angle of emergence, angle of the prism, angle of deviations. Here PE is an incident ray, AF is a refracted ray, and FS is an emergent ray. You may see that a ray of light is entering from air to glass at the first surface AB. The light ray after refraction has moved towards the normal. At the second surface AC, the light ray has entered from glass to air. Hence it has bent away from and the angle of refraction at each refracting surface of the prism. Each is same for the kind of bending that takes place in a glass slab. The peculiar shape of the direction of the incident ray. This angle is known as the angle of deviation. In this case, angle D is the angle of deviation. Mark the angle of deviation is the activity given above and measured. Dispersion of white light by a glass prism. You must have noticed and appreciated the spectacular color of a rainbow. How could the white light of the sun provides us different colors of the rainbow? Before we take up this question, first of all, we shall go back to the refraction of light through a prism. The inclined refracting surfaces of a glass prism give an amazing phenomena. Let us try to find out it through an activity. The prism has split the incident white light into a beautiful band of colors. Observe the colors that appear at the two ends of the color band. What is the sequence of colors that you observe on the screen? The different colors C are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red as shown in figure. The increment VIBGYOR will help you to remember the colors sequence. The band of the colored components of a light beam is known its spectrum. You might not be able to observe all the colors separately. Yet something makes each color separate from the other. The splitting of light into its seven colors is known as dispersions. You have noticed that white light is dispersed into its components. Seven color by a prism. Why do we get these seven colors? Different colors of light bent through various angles with respect to the incident ray. As they pass through a glass prism, the red light bends at the least angle, while the violet at the most. Thus, the rays of each color emerges along a different paths and thus become separate. It is this band of different colors that we see in a spectrum. Isaac Newton was the first who used a glass prism to get the spectrum of white light. He tried to split the colors of the spectrum of sunlight further with the help of a similar prism. However, he could not get any more colors. He then put a second similar prism in an inverted position. With respect, With respect to the first prism, this allowed all the 7 colors of the spectrum to pass through the second prism. He found a beam of white light emerging from the second prism. These observations gave Newton the idea that the sunlight is a composite of 7 different colors. Any light that provides a spectrum identical to that of sunlight is often referred to as white light. A rainbow is a natural spectrum that you can see in the sky after a rain shower. It is due to the dispersion of sunlight by tiny water droplets present into the atmosphere. A rainbow is always appeared in a direction opposite to that of the sun. The water the water droplets behave like small prisms. They disperse and reflect the incident sunlight, then reflect it internally, and finally reflect it again when it emerges out of the raindrop. Due to the internal reflection and dispersion of light, different 7 colors reach the observer's eye. We can also see a rainbow on a sunny day when we see at the sky through a waterfall or through a water fountain with the sun behind you. Atmospheric refraction you might have sometimes noticed an apparent random flickering or wavering of objects see through a turbulent stream of hot air producing above fire, a radiator or a stove. It is the air just above the fire becomes hotter than air present further up. Hotter air is lighter, less dense than the color air, denser present above it. The hotter air contains slightly less refractive index than the cooler air. This results in wavering of things seen through air. Such an observation shows an effect of atmospheric refraction of light through the Earth's atmosphere on a smaller scale in our surroundings. Twinkling of stars is an optical phenomenon in nature. Twinkling of stars. You might have noticed the twinkling of stars on a clear night. The twinkling of a star is because of the atmospheric refraction of a starlight. The starlight, after entering the Earth's atmosphere, undergoes refraction continuously before it comes to the Earth. The atmospheric refraction takes place in a medium of usually varying a refractive index since the atmosphere refracts the starlight towards the normal. The apparent position of the star is slightly different from its real position. The star looks slightly higher above than its real position when viewed near the horizon. Further, the apparent position of the star is not stationary but keeps on changing slightly and gradually. Since the physical conditions of the refractive medium, Earth's atmosphere are not stationary. Hence, the apparent position of the star fluctuates, and the path of a beam of light coming from the star goes on changing slightly. So the amount of starlight falling on the eye continues to fluctuate randomly with the time due to change in amount of light falling on the eye. The star sometimes looks brighter and at some other time fainter. Thus, the fluctuating apparent position of the star leads to the twinkling effect of the star to the eye. Why planets do not twinkle? The stars look very small in such apparent size. While planets look bigger, the star may be considered as a source of light of a point sized and the planet as an extended source. So the sized and the planet as an extended source. So the planet can be considered as a group of large number of point-sized source of light, so that average change is zero. Hence nulling the twinkling effect. Hence, turbulent atmosphere is unable to cause sufficient changes in amount of light falling on our eye from the planet. advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. The sun is visible to us about 2 minutes before the sunrise and about 2 minutes after the sunset. Sunset due to the atmospheric refraction by sunrise. Sunrise we mean the crossing of the horizon by the sun. Given figure represents the exact and apparent position of the sun with respect to the horizon. The difference of a time between sunset, the apparent sunset is about 2 minutes. The apparent fluttering of the disk of the sun at sunrise and sunset is also because of the same phenomena. A scattering of light. A scattering of light. The interplay of light with objects present around us gives rise to various spectacular phenomena in nature. The color of water in deep sea blue color of the sky, the reading of the sun at sunset and sunrise are some of the wonderful phenomena we are familiar with in the previous class. You have studied about the scattering of light by colloidal particles, the path of the rays of light passing through a true solution is not visible. However, its path becomes visible by a colloidal solution, the solution where the size of the particles is relatively large. Relatively large. Tyndall effect. The Earth's atmosphere is a heterogeneous mixture of small particles. These particles include tiny water droplets, smoke suspended particles of dust, and molecules of air. When rays of light falls on these fine particles, the path of the beam becomes visible. The light reaches us after being diffusely reflected by these tiny particles. The phenomena of scattering of light by the colloidal particles leads to Tyndall effect, which you have learnt in class 9. This phenomena is observed when a fine beam of sunlight enters a room filled with smoke through a small hole. Thus, this phenomena of scattering of light makes the particles visible. Tyndall effect can also be seen when sunlight passes through a canopy of a dense forest. Here, tiny water droplets present in the mist scatter light. The color of the scattered light depends on the size of the scattering particles. Very fine particles scatter especially blue light, while particles of bigger bigger size scatter light having longer wavelengths. If the size of the scattering particles is enough large, then the scattered light may even look white. Why is the color of the clear sky blue? The molecules of air and other fine particles in the atmosphere have size smaller in comparison to wavelength of visible light. These are more effective in scattering the light having shorter wavelengths at the blue and then light having longer wavelengths at the red end. The red light contains a wavelength of about 1.8 times greater than that of the blue light. Hence, when sunlight passes through the Earth's atmosphere, the fine particles present in air scatter the blue color shorter wavelength more strongly in comparison to the red. The scattered blue light falls on our eyes. If the earth had no atmosphere, they would not taken place any scattering. Then the sky would have appeared dark. The sky looks dark to passengers flying at very high altitudes as scattering is not prominent at these heights. You might have noticed that danger signal lights are of red color. Do you know why the red shows list scattering by fog or smoke? Hence, it can be seen in the same color even at a large distance. Color of the sun or at sunrise and sunset. Have you noticed the sky and the sun at sunrise or sunset? Have you surprised as to why the sun and the surroundings sky looks red? Let us perform an activity to understand the blue color of the sky and the reddish appearance of the sun at the sunset or sunrise. You will find fine microscopic sulfur particles precipitating in about 2 to 3 minutes. As the sulfur particles begin to form, you can observe the blue light from the sides of the glass tank. This is because of the scattering of short wavelengths by minute. Colloidal sulfur particles. Note the color of the transmitted light from the fourth the side of the glass tank, which is facing the circular hole. It is interesting to observe at first the orange red color and then bright crimson red color on the screen. Activity 3 shows the scattering of light that helps you to understand. You to understand see the bluish color of the sky and the reddish appearance of the sun at the sunrise or the sunset. Light coming from the sun near the horizon passes along the thicker layers of air and larger various distance in the Earth's atmosphere before reaching our eyes. However, light from the sun overhead would comparatively shorter distances. At noon, the sun looks white as only a little of the violet and blue colors are scattered near the horizon. Most of the blue light and shorter wavelengths are scattered away by the particles. Hence, the light that falls on our eyes is of longer wavelengths, which produces to the reddish appearance of the sun.